What's up, sports fans? This is the Lucas Ross Sports Channel. We continue here with my 2024 predictions for the upcoming 2024 college football season. The Arkansas Razorbacks are up next. Arkansas coming off a very disappointing year last year in 2023, going 4-8 overall, not very close to making it to a bowl game. It really wasn't just about the roster, though. It's more about the schedule for Arkansas last year. My thoughts on this team, though, for 2024. I don't think they're going to be really terrible. It's not really just about the roster here. I'm really not that high on Arkansas this season, but it's more about the schedule for them. I think the offense will be pretty decent. You got, of course, some options at quarterback. KJ Jefferson entering the transfer portal from last year, so that's a huge loss. You got Bobby Petrino taking over at offensive coordinator, so I think the offense will be pretty decent. I do have some concerns, though, about the defense. They did lose quite a bit of production on that side of the football from last year. So their defense will be pretty young. But let's go to the schedule now here for 2024. Again, this is the schedule here for Arkansas. Again, they were 4-8 last year in 2023. The schedule is once again pretty tough here for 2024. So let's go game by game now and give you a record prediction here for the Razorbacks for 2024. And they start things off with a pretty easy game here on August 31st against University of Arkansas Pine Bluff. Arkansas should be able to take care of business in that game. They should score like 30, maybe 40 points, maybe even 50 as well. So I think Arkansas definitely will be explosive in this first game of the season, and they will win that game pretty easily against University of Arkansas Pine Bluff, and I got them starting out 1-0 pretty easily. And then after that, there's the big game on the road here in week number 2 against Oklahoma State on September 7th. Very interesting non-conference game here. Arkansas, this is what makes the schedule really tough for them, is that they have to play Oklahoma State, a veteran experienced Oklahoma State team, and plus the game is on the road. That's the reason why the schedule is even more tougher. And this Oklahoma State team is pretty much one of the favorites to win the Big 12 this year. They're a very consistent team as well. This will be a very competitive game, though. I think it probably goes into the fourth quarter. A turnover can probably change the difference, and then also maybe even like a game-winning touchdown in the last few seconds. But I think Oklahoma State is the better team here, and plus they're playing at home. I think it's a close game, but at the end of the day, I'm going to go with Oklahoma State here just because they're playing at home. So I got Arkansas losing that game, and that will be their first loss of the season. But then they take care of business against UAB here on September 14th. Not a bad group of 5 team in UAB, but I think they'll take care of business, and that puts their record now at 2-1. They open up SEC play here against Auburn on the road here on September 21st. Very tough road game to start out, your SEC play, but I think this will be a very competitive game. Maybe Arkansas does compete here in this one, but I think Auburn definitely is going to be a lot more better this year. And the fact that it's on the road makes it a very tough one here for this Arkansas team to especially win it here on the road. So with that being said, too tough of a tough place to play, and I think Auburn is a little bit of a better team than Arkansas as well. So I think Auburn does beat Arkansas here, and plus I've already done my Auburn video like last week, I believe, and also maybe a couple weeks ago if I'm not mistaken. But I got Auburn winning that game, and that puts Arkansas's record now at 2-2. And then after that, they'll play Texas A&M here on September 28th at Arlington. Texas A&M's going to be pretty good this year. A lot of experience coming back, and this team does have a lot of talent on the roster and everything. But you never know. I mean, we've seen some back and forth games here between Arkansas and Texas A&M. I think it's going to be a really competitive game just because it's a neutral site game, and I think Arkansas and Texas A&M both are going to have really good offensive teams. But Texas A&M definitely is the more talented roster here, and I think they're also the well-coached team as well. So I think Texas A&M they will win this one here against Arkansas in a close game. But again, I'm going to go with the Aggies there. I've already chosen Texas A&M to win this game anyway. Again, I think Texas A&M is the better roster here, so I'm going to go with the Aggies to pull off the win. And that's back-to-back losses now for Arkansas. That puts their record now at 2-3. Then they'll play Tennessee here at home on October the 5th, a game that I think Arkansas might have a chance to win here. Tennessee, though, is going to have a really explosive offense. I think Arkansas is going to try to want to run the football in this game. The defense, though, it really comes down to Arkansas's defense. If their defense can make some stops here, they might have a chance to pull off a huge upset. But, I think Tennessee, I trust them here. If this game was like a shootout or something like that, I think Tennessee's defense also will be a little bit improved this year. So it really comes down, like I said, to Arkansas's defense. defense, and it also comes down to their running game. At the end of the day, though, I think Tennessee definitely is the better team here. I'm going to go with the Volunteers to knock off Arkansas and give them their third loss in a row, and also their fourth loss here of the season. So that puts Arkansas's record now at 2-4. And then Arkansas gets a bye week here before playing LSU at home on October 19th. Of course, a rivalry game. Anything can happen here in this one. I already know that I chose LSU in this game to win just because I think LSU is the more talented team, but I think Arkansas actually will be very competitive in this game. This game probably goes into the fourth quarter, but I just think LSU, I trust them a little bit more. They're definitely the more, well-coaching staff and definitely the more talented coaching staff as well. And I also trust Brian Kelly a little bit more than Sam Pittman. I think Brian Kelly is definitely a more better coach than Sam Pittman as well. So I think at home, Arkansas just comes up short here to pull off an upset, and I think they do lose here to LSU on October 19th, so that puts their record now at 2-5. So that's 4 losses in a row there for Arkansas from that stretch there from September 21st all the way to October 19th. And then they play on the road here at Mississippi State on October 26th. Mississippi State is a team that I'm not really that high on. Both of these teams are two teams that I think are going to be probably at the bottom tier of the SEC. But you look at Mississippi State, they're really below Arkansas's talent. I think Arkansas definitely is the more talented team here. I know this game is on the road. It's a very tough place to play with the Cowbells, but I think Arkansas is desperate for a win at this point after 4 losses in a row. They finally get one here in the SEC. They pull off the win here on the road at Mississippi State, but it will be a close game. I think Arkansas, though, playing on the road will get it done, and that puts their record now at 3-5, and that's their first official win in the SEC right here on this schedule. And then after that, they'll get to the month of November. They play Ole Miss here at home on November 2nd. This is where the schedule kind of gets tougher here for the Razorbacks. You look at this Ole Miss team, they absolutely are loaded in the transfer portal. And this offense is just going to be really hard to stop. Kind of like similar to the Tennessee game, I think Arkansas is going to want to try to run the football here and waste clock as much as they can to keep that Ole Miss offense off the field. But I don't think it will be enough. I think Ole Miss's defense might be a little bit better this year as well, kind of similar to Tennessee. They just added so many pieces in the transfer portal. So with that being said, this is a close game. I'm going to go with Ole Miss here just because they're the more talented team and definitely the more talented roster. And definitely the more experienced team as well. So I got Arkansas losing that game. That puts their record now at 3-6. They get their second bye week here before playing a big game against Texas here on November 16th. And in my opinion, this is a pretty good spot for a bye week for Arkansas. But, I think Arkansas might have lost motivation by this time. Sam Pittman might be fired right after that Ole Miss game. Maybe even after those 4 losses in a row right there from September 21st to October 19th. I think Arkansas fans might have given up here on Sam Pittman by this point, but they get a bye week before playing this game. Maybe Arkansas will be fired up for this one, but at the end of the day, it won't be enough. Texas is just way too talented, and Arkansas is just not on the level of Texas's talent either. So I think Arkansas loses to Texas here at home, but then they get the win over Louisiana Tech here on November 23rd. They take care of business, and that puts their record now at 4-7. And then the final game of the season is on the road here at Missouri on November 30th. Obviously, last year's game was a blowout. Arkansas definitely was not the better team compared to Missouri. And, Arkansas actually was not really playing that hard by the time this season came to an end. Missouri just overall was the better team, and they were definitely a surprise team last year. This year, it's on the road. I think Missouri still is the better team here. And again, with, Sam Pittman maybe fired by this point, I think Arkansas is not going to be even coming close here to beat Missouri. I know it's a rivalry game. Anything can happen, but I'm going to go with Missouri here just because they're the more better team and definitely the more talented team as well. So I got Arkansas losing their final game here of the regular season on the road here at Missouri. So my official prediction here for Arkansas for 2024 is 4-8, so same record as they had from last year. Again, it's not really just about the team here. I think this team is going to be really good. I can definitely see them doing better than that 4-8 record. But again, this schedule is very tough. You got Auburn on the road, you got Oklahoma State on the road, Texas A&M, Tennessee, LSU, Ole Miss, Miss, Texas. You get Tennessee, LSU, Ole Miss, and Texas all at home. And then you also get Missouri on the road, which I think it's very winnable. But you got Mississippi State on the road, which I think is going to be really tough as well. But again, this Arkansas team has a very tough schedule. That's the reason why I'm really having a hard time figuring out how good this team is going to be. So 4-8 is my prediction here for Arkansas for 2024. So let me guys know what you think about this Arkansas team down in the comments below. What do you think their record will be for 2024? Thanks for watching this video, and stay tuned here for more sports content videos on my Lucas Ross Sports channel.